and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment,
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment,
The advertising quack who wearies with tales of countless cures, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The industrial polluter, his fate's even cuter, that immoral sociopath gets sludge from his barges and liquid discharges direct to his private bath. The billiard sharp who anyone catches, his doom's extremely hard. He's made to dwell in a dungeon cell, on a spot that's always barred, and there he plays extravagant matches on fitless finger stalls, on a cloth untrue with a twisted cue, and elliptical billiard balls. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment,
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment,
I am honored in being permitted to welcome your majesty. I guessed the object of your majesty's visit. Your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes. The coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for the Home Department, Archbishop of Titipu, and groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
A very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was, too. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It was really a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and guggled, I drew my stick as knee. My sickest knee. Oh, never shall I forget that cry, or the shriek that shrieked he, as I gnashed my teeth, and from its sheath I drew my snicker's knee.
We know him well, he cannot tell untrue or groundless tales. He always tries to utter lies, and every time he fails.
He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to brace his nerve. For he nodded his head and kissed his hand, and whistled an air did he, as the saber true cut cleanly through his cervical vertebrae. His vertebrae. When a man's afraid, a beautiful maid is a cheering sight the sight of me.
Good tale, you can't assail me truth, it quite agrees. A taste exact for faultless fact amounts to a disease.
Now though you'd have said that head was dead, for its owner dead was he, it stood on its neck with a smile well bred, and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent offhand nods, but as humble as could be. For it clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree. Of pedigree. And its I vow, that deathly bow was a touching sight to see. Though trunkless yet, it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
His haughty youth, he speaks the truth whenever he finds it pays. And in this case, it holds in place exactly as he says. Exactly, 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 exactly as he says.
All this is very interesting, and I should like to have been there to see it. Oh, but we came about a totally different matter. About a year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him. Yet he fled.
It is surprising he should flee from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You hold that I am not beautiful because my face is plain, but you know nothing. You are still unenlightened. Learn then that it is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow holds a fascination that few can resist.
Oh, allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays on presentation of visiting card. And as for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled. And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone. A second trombone! Yes, would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of...
Nanki-Poo.
A Nanki-Poo.
It's quite easy. That is to say, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Walla Walla.
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, see here, his name. Nanki-Poo, beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Oh, dear, dear, dear. This is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion.
Well, of course you hadn't. How could you? It's no fault of yours. I mean, if a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, well, he must take the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on so. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your majesty.
Much obliged, your majesty.
Very much obliged, your majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
No, of course, we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It could have been written on his pocket handkerchief. Oh, but Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes. It's something lingering with boiling oil, I fancy. I'm not quite sure. I know boiling oil occurs, but I'm not certain. I know it's something humorous, but lingering with either boiling oil or melted lead. Come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
If your majesty will accept our assurance, we had no idea.
I knew nothing of it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. The fool of an act says, compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No!
Or not being there. There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. Oh, that's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn. However, cheer up. It'll be all right. I'll have it altered. Next session. Now, let's see about your execution. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait till then?
Oh, yes. We can wait till then.
Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances.
See how the fates their gifts allot. For A is happy, B is not, but B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A.
Is B more worthy? I should say he's worth a great deal more than A. Yet A is happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha-ha, chaffing, ha-ha, nectar quaffing, ha-ha-ha, ever joyous, ever gay, happy, undeserving A. Ever joyous, ever gay, happy, undeserving A. If I were fortune, which I'm not, B should enjoy A's happy lot, and A should die in misery. That is, assuming that I am B. But should A perish, that should be, of course, assuming I am B. B should be happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha-ha, chaffing, ha-ha, nectar quaffing, ha-ha-ha, but condemned to die is he. Wretched meritorious B, but condemned to die is he. Wretched meritorious B. Well, a nice mess you've got us into, with your nodding head and your deference due to a man of pedigree. Oh.
Merely corroborative detail intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bold and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed. Corroborative fiddlestick.
And you're just as bad as he is, with your cock and bull stories about catching his eye and his whistling in air. Oh, but that's so like you. You must put in your oar.
And how about your big right arm?
Yes, and your snickersnee.
Well, never mind that now. There's nothing else to be done. Nanki-Poo hasn't started yet. He must come to life again at once. Here he comes. Woohoo, Nanki-Poo! I've good news for you. Your reprieve.
Oh, but it's too late. I'm a dead man and off on my honeymoon.
Oh, nonsense. Is this the time for any persiflage? Your father is here, and with Katisha.
My father? And with Katisha?
Yes, and he's looking for you particularly.
So is she.
But he's married now.
But bless my heart, what has that to do with anything?
Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. Consequently, she will insist on my execution. And if I'm executed, my wife will have to be buried alive.
You see our difficulty.
Yes, I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. If you could persuade Katisha to marry you, then she would have no further claim on me. And in that case, I could come to life without any fear of being put to death.
I marry Katisha?
I really think it's the only course.
But my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Oh, that's only her face. She has a left elbow, which people come miles to see.
I'm told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs. My good sir, I decline to pin my heart on any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Katisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, existence will be as welcome as the flowers in spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, bring promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing, oh bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, bother the flowers of spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la.
My soul is still my body's prisoner. Reboot the peace that death alone can give. My doom to wait. My punishment to live.
Katisha?
The miscreant who robbed me of my love. But vengeance pursues. They are heating the cauldron.
Katisha, behold the suppliant at your feet. Katisha, mercy.
Mercy? Had you mercy on him? See here, you. You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I have an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. Well, he is dead. And where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Have I to go through the weary round again, and at the same time implore mercy for you who robbed me of my prey? I mean my pupil. Just as his education was on the point of completion. Oh, where shall I find another?
Here.
What?
Katisha, for years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Ah, shrink not from me. If there is aught of mercy in your woman's heart, turn not away from a lovesick suppliant whose every fiber thrills at your tiniest touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust, I have endeavored to conceal a passion whose inner fires are briling the soul within me. But the fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts at extinction, and breaking forth all the more eagerly for its long restraint, it declares itself in words that will not be weighed, that cannot be schooled, that should not be too severely criticized. Katisha, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it. Darling!
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged.
I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot.
Go to. Who knows so well as I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart?
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And I said to him, Dicky Bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. He sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into the billowy wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name is it willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. That 'twas blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim as I die, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow.
really die of love?
He really did.
All on account of a cruel little hen?
Yes.
Oh, poor little chap.
It's an affecting tale and quite true. I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? He must have been very fond of her.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
Oh, poor little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once.
Oh, no, you mustn't. Anything but that. I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me if I'm just a little teeny weeny wee bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Hate you? Oh, Katisha, is there not even beauty in bloodthirstiness?
My idea exactly. There is beauty in the bellow of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There's an eloquent outpouring when the lion is roaring and the tiger is a lashing of his tail.
Yes, I'd like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially when a lashing of his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the dolts. But to him who's scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing daddy, don't daddy, it's evident, fairly our tastes are one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, nor tardily, tell it till day is done. There's beauty in extreme old age. Do you fancy you are elderly enough? Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting. Is a maiden all the better when she's tough?
Throughout this wide dominion, it's the general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer if she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Won't you wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic with the ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed?
To the matter that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed.
If that is so, sing daddy, oh daddy, it's evident, very our tastes are one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, or tardily, tell till day is done. If that is so, sing daddy, oh daddy, it's evident, very our tastes are one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, or tardily, tell till day is done. Sing daddy, down, daddy, we'll merrily, merry, or tardily, tell till day is done.
And we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy. Mercy for KoKo. Mercy for Pitti-Sing. Mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
I don't think I quite caught that remark.
Mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
Mercy. My husband, who was to have been, is dead. And I have just married this miserable object.
You've not been long about it.
We were just married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see. But my difficulty is that you have slain the heir to the throne of Japan.
The heir apparent is not slain.
Bless my heart, my son.
And Your daughter-in-law elected.
Traitor! You have deceived me!
You are entitled to a little explanation, but I'm certain he would tell it better whole than in pieces.
Your Majesty, it's like this. It's true that I stated that I had killed Nanki-Poo.
Yes, with most affecting particulars.
Merely corroborative detail intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Will you refrain from putting in your oar? It's like this. When your Majesty says, let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically it is done, because your Majesty's will is law. Your Majesty says, kill a gentleman, and a gentleman is told off to be killed. Consequently, he's as good as dead. Practically, he is dead. And if he is dead, why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
Oh, he's gone and married, yum yum. Yum yum. Your anger pray Mary, for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb and join our expressions of grief.
On this subject, I pray you be dumb. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny the wood, for your guidance is mum. You've a very good bargain in me.
On this subject we pray you be dumb, dumb, dumb. We think you had better succumb